Basically, the razor blade, you can see this tire splitting all these little bitty lines. And when the tire is on the ground and getting a lot of movement, it gives it flexibility. That dissipate.
Yeah.
With these tires, they'll build up.
Yes, please. I'm going to have my pillows down there too.
Get it out there.
Okay.
See, you're doing some more work measuring the tires and right what that roll it is, so they can look at all these tires. Went over one other thing. This was my wife's favorite thing. If you go back over here and show.
Hear me all right?
Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's racing show is sponsored by RearviewFamily.com, Auto Sales, and DirtTrackRaceCars.com. So tonight on the Josh Nolan Full Throttle Racing Show, #1 on YouTube, we have with us David Wietholder. Welcome to the show, David.
Yes, good to be here. How are you been?
Good. Good. Put it right down here. So how did your racing career get started, David?
Well, actually, a buddy of mine had a couple cruiser cars, and it was a two-man cruisers. And me and my wife started running together, and kind of took off from there.
Okay. Were you nervous for the first time when you got behind the wheel?
Was I nervous?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if I didn't think much about it, I guess, because I used to ride four-wheelers and race four-wheelers here and there. And like I said, really didn't bother me much, I guess.
How much success have you had as a race car driver?
I've won several championships, and I started out in the bomber cars. Actually, after I moved up from the cruisers, and won a couple championships there, and moved up to B mods and stock cars, and I got one B mod. Yeah, I was on 1 year in a B mod. Sorry. Like I said, I raced a IMCA stock car a little bit, played with it some, won some races in it, won some races in the B mod, and I kind of got my feet wet in the modified. And like I say, we started. I moved up to the next year and got an A mod, and I started racing a little more. Ran Macomb, ran Spoon River, ran Quincy, ran Jacksonville. I mean, we won quite a few races at all them racetracks. So
Okay. So all right, David. When you win races, how do you celebrate your victories?
Oh, I don't know. I guess like anybody else would, I guess. Like to say I don't nothing abnormal, I guess. I mean, we won, like I say, we won championships at Spoon River, Tri-City, Quincy, Macomb, Fulton, Missouri. So, yeah, I don't know that we celebrate anything abnormal, But.
Okay. What's your home racetrack you race on?
Quincy Raceways. Yeah, it's about 15 minutes from the house. So.
Okay. What's your favorite racetrack you've ever raced on?
I don't know. I like most all the racetracks around here, but probably my favorite Spoon River.
All right. How did you come up with your racing number?
Well, that's the other issue. Started out in the cruiser cars. My buddy had raced 00, and at the first night we drove, we just put duct tape numbers on it, and instead of 00, we went with a 05, and it's been that ever since.
Okay. Who do you have for sponsors on your racing team?
We got a handful of sponsors. I mean, everything's appreciated, and always looking to pick up some new sponsors when I can. But I got Rod Smith, A1 Performance Warehouse, Extreme Pro Race Engines, Superior Shock Service, Mixer Lumber, Barnard Elevator Mobility, which they've just been sold out to Ascent. So I'm trying to get them on board to keep sponsoring what same as Bonner did in the past. So that's a work in progress, I guess. So BNC Trucking in Quincy, Illinois, Camp Point Tire, JL Scrap Metals, Dennis G. Woodworth, Attorney at Law, Where's a Machine, Quincy Auto Supply, Coors Light, S.J. Smith, Impact Printing, which is Tony Warner. He does all the wraps for us, so I sure appreciate that. Elite Chassis, Nick Hoffman, KSR Transmissions. Kenny Shaw has been building He used to work for Jericho, and he helped develop the Jericho transmission, and now he's branched off and doing his own transmission. It's a billet training. It's a really nice piece, and like I say, I sure appreciate all his help. Multi-Fire Tommy Scott, Outpace Racing Products, Shorty's on the Hill, Chubby Chassis Race Parts, and Dyer's Rods. Like I
Okay,
say,
are you still looking for more sponsors?
yeah, like I say, I've had a couple of them that have kind of neglected to pay in the past, and you kind of weed them out, of course. But yeah, I'm like I say, I'm looking for somebody to pick up a little bit and help out. We're going to Florida here in a couple weeks and start out racing down there at Volusia. So we'll be down there for like 10 days racing at like I say, Volusia.
Let's want to get a hold of you to sponsor you.
They can get a hold of me through Facebook or my phone number. Like my phone number is 217-242-2715. So they can message
And
me
you have
on Messenger or
okay.
just either way.
You have a racing page?
We
on
don't
Facebook?
have. No. I
Okay.
probably should,
Do you,
but I seem like I'm going 90 mile an hour around here anyway. It's pretty tough to keep up with everything as it is. But
all right. Who's your racing hero?
I don't know that I got per se any one certain racing hero. I got several people that I look up to, and Jerry Powers is one of is a longtime friend, and he helped me a lot get started. And he was the first person that ever told me that if I'd slow down, I'd go faster. And when he first told me that, I thought he was crazy. But like I say, I slowed down a little bit, and I did, essentially get faster. Mike Brooks. No, I'm sorry. Excuse me. Wayne Brooks. I took one of his driving schools and I've learned a lot from him. I got enormous respect for him and Kevin Shaw. Them are two of the best guys I think you'll meet in the racing world. You don't even have to have one of their chassis for Kevin Shaw to help you out. Just call him and he'd help you out, and it's that really stuck with me, that's something you don't find every day, in the racing world.
All right.
But
Do you have a racing nickname?
some people call me Wheat Rocket, and I got a buddy that's Rod Smith, and his boy is confined to a wheelchair, and his mind works really well, but his motor functions just don't. And he gets a kick out of it. He calls me Wheat Rocket all the time, and it's kind of stuck since then. So,
What's the best piece of advice you've gotten as a race car driver?
Uh, Maintenance. I mean, Kevin and Wayne Brooks said that most of your races are won in the garage before you ever leave to get to the racetrack. So, which there's a lot to be said about that. I mean, preparation is a lot, and I think you know the person that's most prepared usually finds himself up front more often than not. So,
What kind of advice would you give a new race car driver?
uh, I don't know. Start with a lot of money, I guess. But no, I mean, I always thought a guy, if they started out in a class that they really didn't want to be in, let's say if you wanted to run a crate late model and you started off in a street stock or something. I mean, yeah, it's going to give you some good experience, but in the same token, you spend a lot of money and you collect a lot of parts to do that. So sometimes I think it's to a certain extent better to jump in with both feet into the class you want to be in.
When you're strapped in your race car, getting ready to go on the racetrack, what helps get you psyched up and motivated to go out and do this?
Just the adrenaline rush to race hard and be competitive and try to win every race you pull on the racetrack at.
Out of all your racing career, what has to be your most favorite victory?
I don't know. I've got several summer national wins. I mean, them always stick in your mind. I've got as I don't know. I don't know if there's any one race per se that sticks out. We won that Volusia last year, which I've been going down to Volusia for I don't know several years or quite a few years actually, and we won a Gator last year, so that one ranks right up there with a lot of them, So, and that's a pretty big stage down there. I mean, there's last year I think we had over 100 cars down there racing, you know, and I was on my way to win the second one, and I ended up running over something, getting a flat tire. So otherwise, I'd have had a start of a little gator farm of my own. So
What are your future goals as a race car driver?
I just um I don't know win every race that I can, and I really enjoy helping people that and that do appreciate it, and it kind of gives me a satisfaction to see them, grow as a race car driver in the racing world too. So,
Who are some of your friends at the racetrack?
well, I've got seems like I got quite a few friends. I mean, a lot of my friends are racing, in one class or another, anywhere from Austin Becerra to Cole Falloway and Nick Hall. I mean, I consider all them people my friends. Will Krupp. I mean, Tommy Scott. I talk to him pretty regularly. He's getting older, and I worry about him too. So I mean, Austin Howes, Rod Smith. He's a real good friend of mine, and we'll stay with him when we go down to race in Florida. And he bought a house, 2012 maybe or something like that. And like I say, we've been staying with them since since then. And he winters down there in Florida. I guess you'd call him a snowbird, but he does a lot of race car parts, and he's he's helped me a lot there too.
When you're out there racing, do you like a wet, heavy track, a dry, dusty track, or right in the center?
I'd rather have a smooth, slick racetrack. Just as slick as it probably could be. To me, that takes. I don't know. I guess as I get older, I'd rather have a slick racetrack because when I was younger, I used to hate when it got slick. But starting out in a bomber car, we always raced dead last every night, and we raced a lot of times after the late. Then at that time, they was racing IMCA late models, and like I say, we knew we was last about every night, and I mean, now I had a lot of fun in that class, really, and we kind of went off of an IMCA type structure where if you did well week after week, you had to start 12th. So generally, I started 11th or 12th about every night. So in the feature, and me and Eddie Deeker have gotten to be pretty good friends, and he started out racing with another friend of mine, Dusty Bingaman. He's the one that kind of got me involved, and him and Eddie Deeker started out cruiser racing together, which Jerry Powers built them their first car, roll cage for their first car. So it's kind of a community deal around here. I mean, we're all kind of like racing. So, and we
Are you pretty good about reading the racetrack?
yeah, I usually if I get time to go look at it, and that's probably something I need to try to keep track of a little more often. But if generally I can tell the places that I race pretty regularly, I got a pretty good idea what the track's going to do from the start of the night.
All right. What do you like to do for fun outside the racetrack?
Well, I don't. We don't do much for much anything other than racing. It seems like, but I do like hanging out with my family and friends and stuff. And uh, like I say, I don't know that we do much else other than racing. I like going watching racing when I can, but it's also a little different just watching.
Who's all on your racing crew?
What's that?
Who's all on your racing crew?
Well, mainly my wife Tanya. She's the she helps, week in and week out, and probably one of the best cookie makers around too. But anyway, she she's been by my side from day one, and Bobby Anders, he helps an awful lot. He lives in North Dakota right now, working for the pipeline, and works up there, and he'll take uh, he'll be off for a week or two, and he'll go back to work for 2 or 3 weeks. So, and he's coming back to go to Florida with us too. So I sure appreciate all his help, and he's real good to bounce ideas off of, And Kevin Reese, he's another good friend of mine, and he's a real good guy to to hash out ideas with and stuff, and he used to go with us fairly regularly, and he don't his back bothers him quite a bit anymore, so he don't go as near as often as I like, I think. But Ben Huff helps me. His boy races. He's been racing some A mod stuff, and they got a B mod too. And he's just now turned 16 this year. So, and Robert Hooper, he always helps us when he can. He's been to Florida with us a time or two. George Wilson, he's a pretty good old boy. He's got a couple race cars himself, and I've drove his B mod a handful of times, and he loaned me a motor when I thought my crate motor had blowed up for my B mod, and had entered a couple big B mod races, so he let me use his motor. I sure appreciate that too, and he's a good guy, and he's getting older too, like the rest of us, I guess. But he sure likes racing.
Do you have any crazy racing stories you'd like to share with us?
Crazy racing stories?
Yes.
Ah, I don't know. There's one that kind of sticks out in my mind. The first time we had ever went to, um, oh, it's not open anymore. What's the name of the track? Not Belleville. Huh? And we went to that was not Bloomfield, but Bloomfield was a real, you know, a lot of fun because me and my wife had been racing the cruiser cars and some, and we took our cruiser car up to Bloomfield because they had all uh, full body cars that night. It was just street stocks, hobby stocks, and cruisers, and they had a bunch of rain the night before, and they had packed the track with front wheel drive tractors and with that had duals and a big Terragator, and the track was by no means smooth. And I can remember my wife; she was running the gas for me, and she was closing her eyes through the corner, and that was the first time that she had ever been unrestricted, and it was a definitely an eye opener, you might say, for her because uh, she had never been that fast before in a race car, and it tracked like I say it was rough enough that our distributor wire fell off in our heat race. So we coasted the infield, and it was kind of a marshy mess in the infield because it rained, a fair amount the week before that of coming up to that race. And we started dead last, and we come up and won the race. And we gets to victory lane, and my wife she gets out of the car, and of course it's in the fall and it's chilly out, so she was bundled up pretty decent with her racing suit and all. And there's a little guy out there who's going to present the trophy to us, from the stands, and he comes and my wife gets out and takes her helmet off, and he said, "Ooh, it's a girl." And it just you could hear the crowd just kind of laugh about it. But that's that was a big race that kind of stuck out in my mind. I mean, because my wife she loves it too, and thereafter I moved up, her and Angie Sapp kind of ran together in the cruiser car, and we'd go to Fulton. We'd take the B mod or the A mod in the cruiser car down to Fulton and race. And I mean, them girls had a lot of fun racing too, and I enjoyed watching them race too. So,
What types of races do you like to watch on TV?
well, actually, we got a split screen right now, watching the Chili Bowl and the late models out at the Wild West Shootout. So I don't know. My favorite racing is probably the late models, but I've played around a little bit, and I mean, I do enjoy the midgets because I used to go to Spoon River. They had a Tom Knowles Memorial, and they would have midgets and sprint cars. And I won and they run modifieds. Used to run modifieds with them all the time, and I'd won that race a couple times, I think. My wife's corrected me. She said once, but um, they that place was awesome to watch midgets on. I mean, they would slide job one another, and just it was really an awesome race to watch. And I got a friend at Tracy Hall. He's got a midget, and it's a D2 midget, and he put me in it a handful of times, 3 or 4 times I think it was, and raced at Spoon River. And so that was a lot of fun too.
What's your most favorite thing you'd like? What's the most favorite part about being a race car driver for you?
The most favorite part, I guess it's just like they say, the competition and being able to race people, and it's like the adrenaline, I guess, a little bit of adrenaline junkie, the speed of it. I mean, meeting a lot of good people, you know.
What's your plans for 2026?
Well, I haven't really made any major plans. I was gonna try to do the best I can and make a good points run for 26 for UMP. and see how we can fare this year. I just had a handful of issues in the past few years, and hopefully I got my program a little better where I can compete that much better. So
At this portion of the racing show, David, I'd like to turn the mic over to my guest. If you have a couple questions you'd like to ask me, you can ask me a couple questions.
sure.
You have a couple questions for me?
For you,
Yeah.
um, what got you? What do you like most about racing, and how did you get started or get into racing?
Just been a racing fan ever since I've been a little kid, and I just love the speed and the race car drivers and being around the whole atmosphere.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, the racing world, I guess, or the family is it's amazing what when you come together, what they can do and what they do.
Yeah.
Um,
But
who is your favorite race car driver, or who do you look up to the most?
okay, I'll tell you what. On the NASCAR side, I really enjoyed when I was growing up. Rusty Wallace. Rusty was one of them I looked up to on the NASCAR driver side.
Yeah,
Yep. And then
cool.
also at the same time, it was Davey Allison and Alan Kowicki.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was your most interesting interview?
I actually sat down with a while back. I sat down and talked to Ernie Irvin. That was quite interesting.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
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 Like I say, I in the racing world, you can. It seems like you meet a lot of good people. You know,
Oh yeah.
I mean, I used to race at Moberly here and there, and believe it or not, Carl Edwards was running. I was down there one night, and he was running through around the pits. He was looking for a ride. And he had his own business card. He was handing out, and I thought that's another thing that kind of sticks out in my mind. It's you know how some people started. It's kind of amazing to see where they've ended up. And Carl Edwards was just a down home guy. It's raced at Moberly. He would race anybody's car he could get into. When he started. But yeah, it's
Have
kind
you
of
ever
neat.
met any? Have you ever met any
Yes.
NASCAR drivers at all?
Yeah, of course we raced with Kenny Wallace quite a bit, and we've met Tony Stewart. Of course, Kenny Schrader, he races with us quite a bit, and um, what other names? Ryan Newman, met
Okay.
him. Mark Martin. Trying to think who else we've met. Hmm. I can't think of any other NASCAR guys that we've met. We used to go to NASCAR races all the time. We went to Talladega for years, and that was I mean, yearly thing. We would go and kind of just lost its spark to us.
Hmm. Is there anybody else you'd like to thank you for helping you get this far in your racing career?
Oh man, I can't. I mean, I can say that. I think when I got with Nick Hoffman, it seemed like it helped my racing program quite a bit. He's got his race car, and he knows his race car in and out very well. I think. And just everybody that's helped me, you know, grow to the race car driver that I am today, like Jerry Powers, Kenny Shaw, Kevin Shaw, Wayne Brooks. I mean, them guys have taught me a lot. I would say, and I could call Wayne tomorrow or Kevin, and talk racing and bounce ideas off them, and I that's just kind of amazing to me, the people that, that you meet along the way, and they, like I say, they take time out of their day to talk to you, and still associate you, you know, with you, and like I say, don't think you have a dumb question really when you call them. So
I would like to thank you for being on a racing show tonight, talking to us about your racing career. I would like to. You have a good night, David, and I'll have you step out, and I'll give you a call in a little bit to thank you.
all right, well, I sure appreciate you having me on, and hopefully everybody enjoys the 26th season, and everybody have a blessed year.
Yep. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was David Wietholder on our racing show tonight, talking to us about his racing career. Go hit him up on his Facebook page or his phone. Brady mentioned if you'd like to sponsor him or get to know him better. If you'd like to sponsor our racing show or be our racing show, feel free to call us or text us at 712-209-713. We can email us at jjnolan15